Hi there. I'd considered sending out an email, but this seems way more appropriate since this is going to be the way I'm communicating with most of you nowadays since we are moving to online classes. Hopefully you've heard that by now. This is going out to both the students for 1051 and 2168. Um, so, you know, I'll try to go over relevant stuff for both of your classes, and made sense not to try to repeat the effort here. So, first off, all of our in-class person meetings. So for 1051, that would be 2 to that's 2 to 3:30 ish, and for 2168, that's 11 to 12:20. Those will go on as originally as scheduled. The only thing that's changing is that we are going to be moving to Zoom. Now, I have a separate video on how to use Zoom that I created from the perspective of faculty members to use it, but it's still applicable to you guys. So, be sure to take a look at that. If you don't know how to use Zoom, it's fairly straightforward. So you'll come in, and essentially I'll have if it's 1051, we'll have some exercises to do as well as be time for the demo. For 2168, I mean, we flipped this classroom already. You're already watching online videos, so you know exactly what to do. And I'll go more into the specifics for both class in a bit. For our labs, the same deal. Labs will go on as scheduled, but, we are the computer science department, or computer information science department. We are not like physics, where you need lab equipment to make things crash into each other, or the chemistry department to make things where you need equipment so things can blow up or change color. We just need our computer, and for the most part in our classes, we've been using those to work on our big projects and get help from the TAs and stuff. So your TAs will hold meetings during those times, and you'll be able to demo and have your questions answered during those times. So hopefully that clarifies for you. So basically, you should expect to log into Zoom on those times. If Zoom does not work, then I will find some other way to deal with this. But I think Zoom will most probably work. If we have to, it'll probably be Microsoft Teams, and if that doesn't work, I'll also probably consider setting up a Discord channel for my classes, so that you guys can send messages to each other and the like, or go into a more chat room, to have a chat room available. I know a lot of you already use Discord, so and the students who do seem to think this is a great idea. So that seems a bit more productive than maybe a message board that nobody's going to check in on. So we might do that in addition to everything else. For 2168 students, let's talk about exams for everybody first. Exams will be held online on Canvas. I am still looking on a solution for that, but the things I'm most concerned about I'm not really concerned about you guys like, oh, I've got notes here, so I'm going to go and look at these notes. I'm going to look at these notes. That's fine. I don't really care. You're going to be looking stuff up anyway as part of your job as, programming. Even if it's open, online stuff, if you could search internet and find that stuff, I'm not too concerned about that for some questions. What I am concerned about is basically, hey, is there somebody in the room next to you that you can ask for help? I don't want that. I want it to be your effort and yours alone. And by the same token, I don't want you necessarily to be able to ask people online, say on a Discord channel that I might be setting up, or going to Fiverr and paying some guy $5 to solve this problem you're having trouble with. Computer scientists would never outsource their own work. It's not like some guy paid a third of his salary to do all this work paid a third of his salary to some guy in India to do his work for a decade. True story. There are also, basically the exams will be online. Quizzes, same. And the exams will be just like quizzes, in the sense that basically you'll have multiple choice and stuff. But there will be more, There will be more intensive questions. You'll be able to code. You'll have access to, and because you're coding on your computer, it makes sense to let you have access to an IDE. Now, as far as how those exams will work, will I be using Proctorial? Probably, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find out. But the way that it's going to be administered is through Canvas, where you're going to be selecting multiple choice questions or fill in the blank questions. I'll try to have it as auto graded as possible to reduce my work. But for like the programming questions, yeah, you can totally use your computer and your editors and stuff like that. That makes a ton of sense to do it that way. So as far as the score, so that's how that's going to work. But it will be like an exam. There will be a set time for you to log in and take the exam. It will be open for a certain amount of time. And you have to have it submitted by a certain time, right? So if you're in 10:51, it'll be open at 2:00, and then come 3:20, you'll get a warning that it needs to be submitted. And if you haven't submitted it by say 5 or 10 minutes after that, not much I can do for you. So there is that component of it that Canvas has available for me. Now that being said, I realize that this is everything I'm doing here is a one-size-fit-most solution, right? Some of you might not have access to computers. If you do not, please let me know as soon as possible so I can help remedy that in any way I can. Some of you are headed home to different countries that are on or completely different continents. That makes it tricky. Right? And it doesn't seem fair to me that basically, there's a 13-hour time difference, so do I have to take this exam at 3 a.m? That does not seem fair at all. And that is something you should not only address with me, but address with any of your other professors. Okay? And you can show them this part of the video and say that basically forcing you to take an exam at 3 a.m. is not representative of your abilities, unless you want to test how somebody performs on an exam at 3 a.m. In which case you should grade it very differently. Very, very differently. So, if that's the case, we'll just simply set up for you to take the exam with a separate time. And if you're another professor who's been sent this video, then my suggestion to you is, if you are having trouble with scheduling a time, delegate this to a TA. So, which is exactly what I'm going to tell you to do now, if for some reason you're in a different time zone and have to schedule something different, tell TA. Okay. Now if you've got DRS, from what I understand, DRS is going to try to help, but they have no idea what they're doing, from what I've heard from some students. So try to go for them. If you need additional time accommodations, that's not hard for us to do for online stuff. No worries there. If, however, you need some other services, then you need to, be sure to get in contact with DRS and let me know how I can help. So now let's get into the specifics of our class. Okay. So for 2168, it's the same as it's been going, except it's online. That's really it. It's still going to be this flipped lecture thing. It's just going to be online. It's actually going to be fairly straightforward for us to run. I think it'll be plenty of fun. Keep watching the videos that I have set up in the playlists according to the week. Remember, this is week 8, so next week, so we go online week 9. We can do this. So, with regards to 1051, we are now flipping into a flipped model. Now, the flipped model is what I use for 2168, and the only reason I don't use it for 1051 is because it's been hard to imagine how to do that with 150 students. But no time like the present, and, when life throws a lemon, you make lemonade. So I'm going to try this format. What this means is that I'm going to probably spend this weekend creating around, 8 to 10, 15-minute videos, and you are going to be responsible for watching these videos each week. And then and you're going to be responsible for watching these before the lecture starts. So And this ideally would take the place of doing of basically learning in the lecture. And instead, we would use the lecture as time to basically work with your peers on the homeworks and on in-class assignments that I'll give. That will help with the um, more with the harder tasks. The idea here is that when I'm least accessible to you, which is the time, which is basically when you're on your own and not in our meetings, that's the time when you are going to be doing the least mentally demanding work, which is sitting, taking notes, watching the lecture. So we're going to do the more demanding work when I am more available to you. That is the concept of a flipped lecture. I've done that again. I do this with 2168 for great success, except I have only 40 students for 2168. So I may be relying on some of you in 1051 who are a bit more experienced, to help out. Because the way I'm going to do this is that I'm pretty much going to split you up into groups using the breakout function. And if you end up in a group and you happen to know what's going on, the best way to learn, I've found, or to not just learn, but to master something, is to teach it to other people. Take that opportunity. And it's a great way to audition for being a TA, let me tell you. So, because I'll definitely need TAs in the fall. I think I'm teaching 6 of these sections in the fall so far. So, we're all into this together. It's not ideal. Well, I don't know. I actually like it a lot. So, but it's not that I don't like meeting you guys in person. It's just that this is a exciting way to try to do things. I try to look on the bright side for these things, and the best thing I can say is keep positive about this. Also, you may see guest appearances from cats, a dog, or a toddler. So there's that. Also, it'll be very easy for you to meet with me just virtually, because I can just send you a link to the Zoom meeting. So what we're going to and last thing, office hours I'll hold as normal, but via Zoom as well. Okay, so you just drop in and say, hi, I need you to check out something. All right, so again, if those hours won't work for you, just simply let me know. All right, and good luck.